Hi, I'm Eric Rodriguez with your Garrison Public Affairs Office, and today we're talking with the Transition Assistance Program Office and the services they provide to you on this installation. That and so much more on this episode of the Great Big Podcast. And we're back on the Great Big Podcast with Mr. Alex. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background and what you do here on Fort Cavazos.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Thanks for having me over and giving me an opportunity to talk about the Transition Assistance Program. My name's Owen Alexander. I'm the Installation Liaison Officer with the Fort Cavazos Transition Assistance Program. I'm a veteran with over 31 years of service in the United States Army. I was a transition counselor at the program prior to starting my current position as the installation liaison officer.
Okay. So you've been working in this transition field for about how long?
I've been working in the transition field for a little over 3 years.
Okay. And what inspired you to get involved with soldiers, making that separation from active service to life after?
Yeah, so a great question. So whilst I was serving in the military as a senior leader, I spent a lot of time counseling, mentoring, and talking to soldiers about their professional and personal life aspects and what it is they need to do. So after separating from the military, I wanted to do something that I had a passion for and that would give me a sense of purpose every day. And that is continuing to help soldiers. So working for the Transition Assistance Program gave me that sense of purpose and give me opportunity to continue supporting and helping soldiers.
That's awesome. Servant leadership, it never stops, right?
Right, exactly.
So what's the main mission of the Transition Assistance Program, and how long is the process, and is it different between like if I'm just going to ETS or if I'm retiring or if I'm being medically separated?
Sure. So the main mission of the Transition Assistance Program is to assist soldiers as they transition and provide them with information, resources, and transition counseling to help them achieve their goal when they transition from the military. Whether that goal is to continue school, learn a trade, find employment, or start their own business. Separation, when soldiers are separating, it's recommended that they start the process 18 months before their separation date. If they're going to retire, it's recommended that they start the program 24 months before their retirement date. No one should be starting the program no later than 13 months before their separation date. For the unprogrammed separation, such as involuntary separation and MEBs, they should start the program soon as when they are notified that they're being considered for separation. The process is the same for everyone regardless of the reason for separation. Everyone must complete all congressional and regulatory requirements.
Okay, so I have a question. I understand the timeline when it comes to like MEBs or involuntary separation, right? But I noticed that you were talking about the difference between retirees. They're talking about 24 months and ETS 18 months. Why is there, what's the reason with that gap?
Yeah, sure, great question. So the reason for that gap is the school of thought is that someone who is retired needs a little more time to prepare. And it gives them an opportunity to take their transition approach in a distributive manner where they could spread all the requirements that they have to complete across 24 months.
Okay. So how does the program here on Fort Cavazos help soldiers seeking new employment opportunities?
So the program here on Fort Cavazos assists soldiers by providing transition counseling and workshops. There are several workshops that the program provides. There is the DOL, Department of Labor, Employment Workshop. There's the Education Workshop. There's a Credential career for credentialing workshop, and there's an entrepreneurship boots the business workshop for soldiers who are interested in starting their own business. In addition to the workshops, we provide career fairs. We work with other agencies and partners to have career fairs and hiring fairs that soldiers could attend to meet hiring managers and recruiters to be exposed to employment opportunities. So, for example, coming up on November 6th, in partner with Workforce Solution, there's a career fair named Red, White, and You. It's a hiring fair where we invite about 175 employers from across the country, various industries and job opportunities that's presented to the soldiers during that hiring fair. It's going to be held at the Lone Star Conference Center. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. In addition to the workshops and the career fairs, there's a program called the Army Career Skills Program. It gives soldiers and service members who are transitioning an opportunity to participate in an internship with a company 180 days or starting 180 days before their separation.
Oh, that's fantastic. That sounds awesome. A little bit of experience before you get out and then you're comfortable in the transition. That's really cool. I'm interested in a little bit more about this Red, White, and You. I know you said it's coming up here very, very soon. As someone who's never been to a job fair before, what would I expect to walk into, and how could I prepare to be, successful, or what would be successful at a job fair like that, other than, an on-the-spot offer?
Okay, so what service members could expect going to the job fair is having an opportunity to meet various and a variety of different recruiters and hiring managers from several different companies. We're talking about big name companies like Tesla, Samsung. You have various cities, the city of Temple, city of Austin, city of Houston, city of Dallas. All these opportunities is going to be there for soldiers to engage and interact and see what are their chances of getting employment with a company or in an industry of their choice. To be prepared and to be successful, as you mentioned, is making sure that you have a resume that you could present when asked for, so the recruiter or the hiring manager, this person, could review your qualifications on the spot. And for the career fair, for the hiring fair, you got to make sure that you dress the part. You want to be dressed just as if you're getting ready to walk into an interview, because based on your resume, and if the hiring manager at the time thinks you meet the qualification for the positions they're looking to fill, there is a possibility that you could be interviewed, or you could be asked to interviewed right there and be given an opportunity to join the company immediately.
So that's one of our main pillars of anything, right, is readiness and always being prepared. So yes. I appreciate that insight and that advice. So the transitional assistance program in itself, it's still kind of new, right? It hasn't been around forever. So I remember when it was kind of getting off its feet as a young enlisted guy myself, and then I know what I was able to take advantage of when I went through the transition assistance program. How has it adapted over the years to the changing environment outside of military service?
Yeah, so the transition assistance program has adapted by providing more resources and assistance for soldiers as they transition. And we are more focused on making sure that soldiers get all the information and help they need. So by increasing the number of workshops and the type of workshops that are provided, the type of resources such as resume assistance, resume review, making sure that soldiers are connected with outside agencies or interagencies after the transition to provide any help that they may need. So the program take a comprehensive approach in helping soldiers and making sure they could be successful after they leave the military in achieving their goals.
Transition from military life to civilian life is super, super stressful. I know myself, I was freaking out for a little bit. Like, I don't know how to do anything else. I've been doing this all my adult life. What are some of the things that you've seen that help go through that process to get these guys and gals like a little more comfortable with, leaving the military life behind and moving forward with themselves?
So one of the things that could help success when transitioning is to go early and go often to the transition assistance program. As we discussed earlier on the timelines, 18 months, 24 months, no later than 30 months. So the earlier you go, the more time it gives you to plan and prepare. And by going often, you get all the resources and assistance that's available to you. And if for some reason there may be a workshop or something you need to revisit, you have enough time and opportunity to prepare for that. So by getting these resources, by going early, by going often, it helps increases your chance of being successful after you transition and achieving your goal. So what that does is helps alleviate or reduce some of the stress that you may encounter as you transition.
All right. So I understand that you guys are really, really involved and you're really invested in, soldiers after the Army. Can you think of any examples or any stories of how you've seen the impact that the TAP program has had on someone in their transition?
So every day that service members come to the Transition Assistance Program Center, we see that impact. And what I mean by that is the services that are provided as far as helping them find employment, helping them develop their resume. And you see that the change that it brings, alleviating the stress for soldiers, helping them get more prepared. But looking upon a specific example, we talk about partnering with companies and other agencies earlier. So one of the things the Transition Assistance Program has done is partner with Tesla. So if you're familiar with the Colleen area, around the corner of South Fort Hood Street and M Street, there's a parking lot area there. And if you ever drive around that area in the evening or early in the morning, you'll see buses coming and going, picking up employees. Those are Tesla employees that the buses come from Austin, pick up the employees so they don't have to drive, run the miles up on their car, reduce the cost as far as for gas. So they take those employees and take them down to the Tesla factory in Austin and bring them back. That was possible because of the key involvement of the Transition Assistance Program and being able to provide job opportunities for service members with Tesla.
That's really awesome. I had no idea that the involvement of the TAP program actually helped that, happen. I live not far from there and I see those buses all the time, so that's really, really cool. I know you've mentioned Tesla and you've touched on some other things, but what other agencies and partners does the Transition Assistance Program work with to provide these benefits for the soldiers?
Yeah, so some of the agencies and partners we work with, we spoke about one early on when we talk about the career fair, the Red, White, and New, that is the Workforce Solution. We partner with the Texas Veteran Commission, the Department of Labor, the Veteran Affairs Agency. We also partner with various cities throughout the state of Texas and other states.
Oh, that's fantastic. So finally, what if you were able to give one message to the listeners or viewers that you wanted them to take away about the TAP program, what would that message be, and how would they be able to get in contact with you guys for any further assistance?
Sure. So what that message would be is that you have to take responsibility for your transition and your success. So therefore, it's important to get involved with the program early and as often as you can. And that increases your success of achieving your goal after you transition. To get in touch with the Transition Assistance Program, we are located in the Copeland Center on the 3rd floor, or you could call our front desk at 288-2227, or you could also visit the Army TAP website at www.armytap.army.mil.
That's outstanding. Alex, I don't really have any more questions for you today. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you would like to add for anybody else that you don't, or that you might feel should be known?
I think we covered everything, but I'd just like to reiterate that it's very important to make sure that you take ownership of your transition. So just remember, go early, go often.
Thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate your time and all the information you gave us today about the Transition Assistance Program and the Red, White, and You coming up soon.
The Fort Cavazos Religious Support Office has partnered with the Central Texas Food Bank to provide fresh produce to military families during the Fresh Food for Families events. The mobile food pantry events are held the first Thursday of every month at the Phantom Warrior Stadium parking lot from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Food insecurity is an issue impacting families nationwide. The Fresh Food for Families initiative reduces the impact of rising food prices on military families who call the Great Place home. The program is open to everyone with access to the post. For more information on the program and future donation dates, visit the Fort Cavazos RSO Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Fort Cavazos RSO. I'm John Miller with your Garrison Public Affairs Office, and this is On Track with your Fort Cavazos Minute. We've got everything you need to stay informed and connected. The Community Events and Bingo Center will host a Ghostbusters themed bingo for children ages 2 to 17, 11 a.m. October 26th. The cost is $7.50 with lunch included. Doors will open at 10 a.m. and a goodie bag will be given to all children. Better Opportunities for Single Soldiers will host a trunk or treat in the parking lot for attendees. Costumes are encouraged. For more information, call the center at 254-532-9253. Post-wide trick or treating is from 6 to 8 p.m. October 31st. Children under 12 years old are asked to cross the street with an adult. Drivers are asked to slow down and remain alert, especially while driving in residential neighborhoods. The United Service Organization, Fort Cavazos, is also hosting a trunk or treat from 6 to 8 p.m. October 30th in their parking lot. This event is open to the Fort Cavazos community and does not require registration. That's all for your Fort Cavazos Minute. Stay tuned for more updates and information to keep you on track. More info can be found in the links below.
Okay, so maybe your commute doesn't look quite like this. But don't let the road throw you an unexpected curve. Many riders would tell you that riding in heavy traffic or on the freeway is the most dangerous thing people do routinely on a motorcycle. Not true. 73% of single rider mishaps happened on curves. Stay focused, stay aware, stay alive. Readiness through safety.
Welcome back to today's episode of the Great Big Podcast, and I'm joined by...
Hey guys, this is Sean with the Fort Cavazos Public Affairs Office. I'm back again, just here with Eric in a special episode. Just, getting in the holiday mood for Halloween.
No, Alex had a lot of great information today about the TAP program and all of the things that they do. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting, a lot of good information, especially, leaving the military is a big thing, a big transition, if you will. So staying on top of that and understanding what resources are available to you so you're not just kind of figuring things out on the fly. It's good to have a plan.
Absolutely. For me, one of the biggest advantages I got out of the TAP program was resume writing. Mm-hmm. I was really good at writing evaluation reports and stuff for the Army, but then when it came to my own stuff for myself to be able to work and be a part of, the regular American workforce, I was clueless.
Yeah.
So at least for me, that was one of the biggest things and biggest chunks of information I was able to take away. But I see what you did there with the whole transition, the whole transition plan thing. So this past weekend, I was able to do some running around, ate some good barbecue, spent some great time with my family. What did you get up to this weekend?
No, I visited Georgetown for the first time. I always drove through it on my way to Austin, and I always hear about how it's a nice little small town, kind of. It's the suburbs, but I got to see that little river that runs through the town. Go through the downtown area, try a couple cafes, restaurants, look at all that. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome. So what are your big plans for the weekend? Because everybody knows the rest of the week is focused on
Oh yeah,
amazing,
Halloween
fun stuff.
I don't know. This is my first time actually in state for Halloween, so yeah, definitely gonna have to make sure my candy rations are in order so I can give it. I honestly don't know how busy my neighborhood's gonna be, but I'm staying home, just watching some horror flicks and taking it easy, handing out candy. Hopefully, nothing crazy happens. So
That's fantastic. You just got to make sure you get the good stuff: peanut butter cups, Snickers,
candy corn.
No. I hope you guys have a great weekend, Sean, and thank y'all for joining us. Until next time.
See you guys next week.